Welcome to EP Daily. Today on the show, plants and zombies continue their garden warfare in the rundown.
And there are no strings attached with our classic cartridge review of Pinocchio for the Sega Genesis.
Plus, we've got a new look at LEGO Dimensions under construction.
Ha! Looks like somebody just got mugged.
Also coming up, we sow the fields with a review of Farming Simulator 15, have a review of a cool new camera from Fuji and much more today on EP Daily. Brought to you by EB Games.
I'm your host, Marissa Roberto, bringing you the latest and everything cool every single day. When zombies walk across my lawn, I don't use flowers to stop them. I use something even more deadly. It's called the rundown. Here it is. Here's something that should really get you excited because it got me really excited. Electronic Arts has released a short teaser video hinting that Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 will be unveiled at E3 next week. According to the teaser, the announcement is set to happen during Microsoft's press conference on Monday, June 15th, which likely means the new game will be a timed exclusive for Xbox platforms, similar to its predecessor. That's about all we know for now, but we'll let you know when more details sprout. The classic Mega Man games are being dug up yet again. Capcom has announced the Mega Man Legacy Collection, a new bundle that brings the first 6 games in the series to the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. These are the classic 8-bit Mega Man games originally released for the NES, and although all of them have been ported over to more modern systems, this will be their first time on the next-gen consoles. The Legacy Collection will hit the PS4, Xbox One, and PC this summer, with the 3DS version set to follow this winter. The timing of the release puts the collection in direct competition with the new Mighty No. 9, which is made by Mega Man creator Keiji Inafune. That's it for the rundown. Now look who it is to join me. It is the lumbersexual, Scott C. Jones. Kate, that's enough of that. Nobody wants to see any more of that. Let's talk about Mega Man, okay? Because I don't know, actually, if you're a Mega Man fan or not. We've never discussed this.
Of course, I'm a Mega Man fan. I think any gamer who is worth his or her salt, they have to be a Mega Man fan.
It's too hard, though. It's way too difficult.
Well, for you, but for someone like me, or maybe even Victor Lucas, it's pretty easy.
Okay.
So
you're excited about the re-release?
I'm excited, but also I'm excited for Mighty No. 9. That's Keiji Inafune's obviously his new work, which looks like a Mega Man clone. But you know what? This is also one of those games that's another look back. Like we're going back again. Here's another remastered, high-resolution version of a game we played in the 8 and 16-bit era, and here we are doing it again.
I think it'll be fun to play on the new 3DS.
I think most gamers have these games already, and what's kind of cool about them is actually collecting them in cartridge form, but that's another show. We'll do it another time.
Oh, we're going to be downloading that one.
Super nerdy.
Guess what else I'm going to be downloading, Scott C. Jones?
This is how you
Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. It's coming out.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. And I actually did get somebody on Twitter recently telling me to be quiet about Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare because I mentioned it too much. Guess what? I'm just going to mention it more now because you came at me, bro. Also, it's happening. EA is releasing a second one, just like I predicted.
Okay, so are you hoping for some sort of new monsters in the new one, or?
No, I want more of the same. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're happy. I do think that PopCap has done a great job with the Plants vs. Zombies series of games. I think there are lots of seeing zombies in this more playful light is something we all needed to do.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're fighting plants is an interesting premise, and I can't believe all the mileage they've gotten out of this. But it's playful and it's colorful and it's super fun, and I know you're excited. Okay.
I know, but we need to move on now because I love something else. I love Lego.
You do love Lego. In fact, let's take a closer look at LEGO Dimensions.
Delivery.
Mysterious glowing object arrives on front doorstep. Messenger not sighted.
Doug Heater has grown a big beard because he's got a big job. He's got a big game called LEGO Dimensions, which is really, what, 50 games in one? What's the deal with this thing?
Like 200 games in one, right? No, LEGO Dimensions, we've revealed now 14 different IPs in this game. It's a huge mashup experience, unlike anything we've ever done before, even in a LEGO game.
Very ancient.
We've always had a great time playing with the properties that we adapt, but there's nothing like this, quite honestly.
That seems not normal.
This is the biggest game that TT Games has ever developed. There is an original story that you follow through sort of a linear path. It's an adventure driven by Batman, Gandalf, and Wild style.
Whatever your name is.
Full-blown game that you'd expect from TT Games. So it's a great adventure just in that starter pack alone, but of course, there is expansion content. There's new packs, new characters, new figures, new vehicles to come. They bring with them a lot of surprises.
I think I might have opened a dimensional vortex.
You guys did something that I think is probably true to the spirit of Lego, but it's a question that we have as players. You don't really have to physically assemble the things. It's more about it being saved to the toy tag. You could put whatever you want on each of the toy tags. You didn't choose to put little chips in each one of the pieces of the Lego, which I guess would have been a cost thing, but it also would limit the freedom of expression that Lego delivers, I guess, too, right?
They are Lego bricks. I mean, every brick you get in that box, whether that's in the starter pack or the expansion pack, that's the same quality of plastic and the same type of brick you could buy in any Lego box. It comes right off the same assembly line. So they can absolutely intermix with my regular collection of Lego bricks at home.
Yeah, and you could put Wild Style's head on a Batman body.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now, of course, the game has the model that we've created in the game model, and you have the option of either matching your toy to what's in the game or creating something entirely new. And we think there's a lot of flexibility in that system. We've seen players test the game and kind of want to do both things. You know, sometimes young kids are like, no, that's Batman. We really want Batman to be Batman, so they stick to that and put that character on them. But then, you know, we'll see other kids play with it. But hey, if I want to put a bow and arrow in Batman's hand, I can do that too. I can give him Legolas's, you know, bow and arrow or quiver from his set. And that's what the beauty of Lego is, that you can just rebuild that system in infinite ways.
Ha! Looks like somebody just got mugged.
We heard from the founder of TT Game Studio, John Burton, talking about this has been a dream for many, many years. I think it's also a game that is a dream in the players of Lego games and fans of Lego in general. But tell us about the travails of putting all of this kind of concept together. What did you guys have to do to get everybody to play nice?
Yeah, that was a big challenge, right? But what's helped is obviously having a great track record. The team's now been building games in the Lego space for over a decade, you know, starting all the way back with Lego Star Wars, and having those be such a great hit and such a big success. And fans have embraced those games. It's a fun sort of way to experience each of those IPs.
Sweet ride, Batman.
Quite frankly, a lot of the properties that are in this game have come to us over the years, and we've now had the opportunity to finally bring them all together. Now, it does come with a lot of caveats. Okay, you got to be willing to play nicely. You know, the interesting thing, I think most people would be surprised at, you know, when you build a list like the properties that are in Lego Dimensions, well, okay, it's Warner Brothers, we're gonna get all the Warner Brothers IPs. No, it's actually, we're just a small chunk of everything that's in Lego Dimensions.
Great Scott!
Lego Dimensions comes out this September, and Warner Brothers, if you want to send it now, I am ready for it. What's that? They can't? You checked? All right. Okay, well, after the break, we turn our attention to a classic cartridge game for the Sega Genesis. Welcome back to the Electric Playground. You know, there was a time when video games weren't all downloadable with huge patches, and animated movies were actually hand-drawn. I know, it sounds crazy, but I'm not lying. And to prove that point, here's our review of Pinocchio for the Sega Genesis. Today's classic cartridge is the 1996 Genesis release Pinocchio.
I wasn't even alive then.
Yes, you were. You were alive then. This was a 2D scroller on the Genesis, arguably one of the best-looking 2D scrollers from Virgin, which had a lot of success with titles like Cool Spot and Earthworm Jim. This has some visual pedigree that kind of speaks to some of the best stuff produced on 16-bit.
Yes, that's right.
But it is a really obtuse experience to play. You really don't know what the hell you're supposed to do in this game.
Well, it's a game that's built around a character that everyone loves and knows, obviously. But I personally, and I'm hoping you feel this way, but I don't want to play a video game starring Pinocchio in Pinocchio's world. I have no interest in doing that whatsoever. Well, so part of me, all I can do is think of, because I know game developers now, think of the faces of those guys when they said, listen, we're making a game stars Pinocchio.
I don't know,
He's going to be able to jump into the air. He's going to have to pick up little sparks sparkling things, and he's gonna get chased by kids, and sometimes a fox will poke his head out.
Fox, yeah, and he'll get tripped and punched and kicked. And
You want a Pinocchio game, though?
I like the Disney characters, man, and I think Disney is ripe, as we're seeing with Disney Infinity, to have lots of different characters. I don't have an issue with Pinocchio.
You want to play a video game with Pinocchio?
Why are you making Tommy face at me?
I'm not making Tommy face.
Are you going to barf over there?
Okay, all right. Okay. Scott Jones face. Don't ever say that again.
Okay. No, I don't mind that they made a Pinocchio game. I just think that the design was pretty weak sauce.
The only middle ground, the only game that kind of treads both worlds, the Mario world and the Disney character world, is the Castle of Illusion, the Mickey Mouse game.
Yeah, that was great.
That was a lot of fun. I had a great time with that. This never really comes alive for me. And maybe it is the fact that it just doesn't have enough self-evident level design, so I know where I'm going or what I'm supposed to do. And Pinocchio's jump mechanic just feels too floaty and too disconnected from the ground.
And I
hated this.
Yeah, I know. Imagine
a lot of kids did play it. They probably never played another video game again after this.
And that's always the issue when you have games that are supposed to be family-friendly and appeal to a younger crowd. You have that one shot to make these people fans of this medium, you know? And if they're not impressed with the way you've handled Batman or Spider-Man or a Disney character, they're going to have a hard time getting excited for the next go-around with this.
The most interesting thing about Pinocchio is that his nose grows when he lies.
Yes.
And that's not really any part of the game.
I mean, he gets into a pretty sizable adventure. He's inside of a whale. He's got to rescue kids.
But does he do any lying? Does his nose grow?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
it's not really a game mechanic. You also get to play as Jiminy Cricket in this game, which
what a dream come true.
Makes this very unique in the pantheon of video games. But that Jiminy Cricket level is one of the worst levels I've ever played in my whole life.
Everything about this is the worst. All right, so we've seen Pinocchio, we've played Pinocchio. Victor Lucas, I need a score, please.
This was really disappointing. Probably the most disappointing classic cartridge we looked at yet. I'm giving it a 2. How about you?
Are you a mind reader? I'm giving it a 2 as well. Weird.
Pinocchio comes out for the Sega Genesis many years ago. And in fact, you probably noticed that we've been taking a look at some classic cartridges recently. We thought it was important with all these retro games that we're playing these days to actually go back and play some of those old ones and see how they stack up. But now, let's get a little more contemporary. Here's Marissa and I with Farming Simulator 15.
In case you missed our reviews of Farm Simulator 10 through 14, actually, we never reviewed this before. It's Farm Simulator 15 as we're talking about it, and it's on the PlayStation 4. Yes, you can be a farmer.
In this game, you are plowing, you are sowing, you are cultivating, you are selling your goods, just like you would on a farm.
You're buying fancy tractors.
You're buying fancy tractors.
You're buying fields. You're running errands. You're making sure your livestock is okay.
Yes. Before all of that happens, because this is my first experience with the Farming Simulator, obviously I want to take myself through a little tutorial. This tutorial is the most irritating and convoluted thing I've ever played in my life. Why? Why on earth would I need to get out of the vehicle that I'm in, to go to a question mark, to learn about the vehicle that I was just in, to get back into that vehicle to perform the task that I was already doing? I don't understand that. Okay, no problem. I go through every single control scheme. I'm going to for sure get this one.
Which look like they've been masking taped up into the left-hand corner.
Completely.
Right? Like, and they're always there for you.
You learn that you can't turn on the tractor yourself. No, you have to hire a worker. That's how you turn on the tractor. Okay, finally figured that one out hours later. Thank you very much, Farm Simulator. All I wanted to do was sow some wheat.
You can turn on the tractors. You got to press the L1 and then you press the square button. And then
my God, I did that.
And you turn them on. What you're saying makes perfect sense to me because it is a convoluted experience, and it's also one that you need to give an unbelievable amount of patience and caffeine. You've got to be able to get amped up for this. Don't play this at night because it will put you to sleep as you're moving across the wheat field, taking the wheat into your thing super, super slow. It's going to drive you crazy. But at the core of this, and I think the reason why there have been many iterations on this game, is a pretty fun kind of Tonka truck physics-based simulation of driving all of these cool vehicles and doing all of these things that we see farmers do.
But you know what? I also want to wake up in the morning as the rooster crows, and I want to make myself some bacon and eggs in my kitchen. I want to be the farmer. Let me experience everything to do with farming and a farmer's life, and then don't give me this tutorial where I feel like throwing everything on my freaking screen. I don't want that. I want ease. I want to ease myself into it.
But it's a decent-looking title with a lot of detail and lots of little widgets, lots of things to play with and connect
Exactly
with.
the word widget.
Right? And I liked all of that, but it does need that extra layer of game design polish, that inclusionary, come on in, we'll make this really fun and accessible for you. And
I want
because
to
of
take
that,
the wheat that I sow, and then I want to pulverize it and make it flour, and then I want to bake things with it. I want to be a farmer.
Yeah,
Let me live that life.
I'll tell you though, there's enough here though that I think I will keep going back to it. I'm not playing it at night because this did literally put me to sleep. I like driving my tractor across the field. I wake up with my controller. I'll play this in the morning as the sun comes up, maybe, as the rooster crows. I'll play a little bit. That's kind of why I love games like this and Harvest Moon, is that they're just so different in their pacing and the way that they kind of approach the world, and I think there's real value there. I also would love to play this with my daughter. I would love to play this with young kids because they get to see a different way that games can entertain them.
Sure, absolutely. There just needs to be a little more of a pull and just ease of entry here. So I can't give this a great score because it didn't give me what I wanted jumping in.
What are you giving it?
Oh, I'm going to give it a 5.
I'm giving it a 7.
Farming Simulator 15 is out now for the consoles and the PC, and my apologies again to all the real-life farmers out there who may have been offended by my city boy mentality. Stick around. When we come back, we get our hands on a brand new camera from Fujifilm.
Welcome back to EP Daily. One thing you might not know about Victor Lucas, surprisingly strong. Another thing you might not know, he loves his fancy cameras. Boy, does he ever. So when the Fuji XT10 arrived in the office, he told us to drop everything and let's go outside and test this little sucker out. Here's Marissa and Vic with their review.
All right, bear with us. We're going to have a lot of X's and T's in this review because we took a look at a new Fujifilm camera. They love their X's and their T's over there. This is the XT10, not to be confused with the XT1 that you and I reviewed not too long ago, or the X100S that Scott and I reviewed.
Which I own.
You own, and I own the X100T.
And I love.
And I love mine too. But the XT10 is kind of like in the middle point. It's not like our fixed 100 series cameras, and it's not like the big brother XT1. It's kind of a little more consumer friendly with a more consumer friendly price point.
Well, yes. I mean, it's still expensive, of course, but this is a very high-end camera. This one is much more compact, but what I love about it is the fact that it is so compact. Like, what's even better with this new XT10 is the autofocus lock.
Yeah, so you're going to get much better shots where subjects are moving, like a very fast-moving kid, for example. And then you can also pick spot focusing, and you can go a little bit wider if you've got a group shot or you're trying to get a lot of stuff in focus.
Because there's a lot of function buttons here.
Yes, but suffice to say, focusing, which has been a general concern with a lot of cameras, but I think with the X line in the Fujifilm, I mean, it's been something that you've had to kind of fiddle with, whether you go with the fixed lens like we have or you go with XT1. I think this is some of the strongest focusing firmware that we've seen so far. Now, the good news is that Fuji is going to start to filter that firmware probably to the other cameras in their X line, which is great news for existing users like us. But you're right, though. Once you start fiddling with some of these interchangeable lenses and you start getting some great zooms and some incredibly new angles on the detailed shots that you want to take, you do get that pull, and it's been amazing to have something a little bit more portable with the X100T, but when I look at this, it's not that bad in terms of size or heft or weight. And the lens flexibility is pretty damn incredible.
That's the only thing, though. It's the lenses. When you have a camera like this and you know that you can change the lens, that's exactly what I'm going to want to do. Also invest in that lens as well, so it no longer becomes portable.
A backpack is what you're carrying around everywhere,
exactly.
Right? Everything is programmable. There's lots of cheesy but still fun, like toy camera effects and things like that, and the advanced filters.
Oh, you love that.
I do like to play around with all that stuff. What are you going to give the XT10?
It gets an 8.
Gets an 8.5 from me.
Ah, that was so satisfying. Up next, a viewer asks us a question on Twitter, and we answer it after this.
If you want more EP, go to our website, epn.tv, for bonus content and full episodes. We're also on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to EP Daily. It's time now time for the best part of today's show. It is the Twitter question of the day.
Yes.
This one comes from Matthew. He is at Koyos Rook. Nice one, buddy. Do you think that with all the leaks these days, is it possible to surprise at E3?
No, it's not possible to surprise at E3. I don't even know how you surprise people anymore because there's so much information even before I get on an airplane and fly to Los Angeles and walk into that smelly convention center. I know everything before I get there. The only thing that could really surprise me right now is if I go there and Gabe Newell is there and he gives me a shoulder rub and he ushers me into a room and shows me Half-Life 3. That would be a surprise.
Okay, that's what you really
about
want,
you?
right? Well, whenever I think of all these leeks, I just think of all the vegetables that I could be collecting and making into a delicious leek soup.
Such a weirdo.
I know. You can catch up on everything to do with the show and all the goodness behind the scenes at epn.tv.
We're whipping up a new EP story for you on an upcoming episode about Jurassic World. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.
EP would like to thank its sponsors, Nintendo, Xbox. EP's mobile coverage is brought to you by Gameloft, makers of Dungeon Hunter 5, which you can play for free on iOS and Android right now.
Hold your fire! Hold your fire, do not fire!
Lou, stand down. Stand down. We were essentially living John Hammond's dream. We're a fully functional park, 20,000 people a day, Jurassic World. It's real. It's like Universal Studios and Disneyland meets Dubai. People from around the world have come to the island to see what was originally John Hammond's vision. And then, in the mythology of it and the backstory of it, their interest in the park has waned, and fewer people are coming to the park because dinosaurs have been around for 20 years. They're not that cool anymore. And so we built this bigger, faster, stronger dinosaur that's really, really scary to get more people involved and get people excited about coming back to the park. And of course, when you tinker with nature and you create an animal for your own amusement, it doesn't go well.
You just went and made a new dinosaur? Probably not a good idea.